Do you send emails or newsletters to your audience or potential new clients or whatever you want to call it? Do you send emails out? You're missing out on a real trick if you're not. And this week's show, I get to talk to Louise McGuill, who is incredible with emails. She's so much fun. We had a great chat about what we should be doing, how we should be doing it. And I also shared some of the things that I've been doing and some of the blockers that I've got personally, because we don't want to come over as salesy. We don't want to send an email all the time. But there were some brilliant, brilliant gems in this show today. So make sure you go and watch that. Oh, here we are. It's Monday and I got Louise in. Hello, Louise.
Hi.
How the devil are you?
I am really, really good. Thank you. Sun's shining. Been up for a while. Yeah, all good.
Oh, awesome. I've been looking forward to this show for ages. You're brilliant, but not everybody knows who you are. So tell everybody who you are and what you do, please, Louise.
Yeah, so I'm Louise, as it says on the screen, and I help people get visible. Basically, I help them use the power of email to build relationships and rapport through the inbox. The best place to be because you've been invited in there.
Yeah, no, and this is, and I think we should get married actually because because we need LinkedIn, but we also need email. And so many people say, "Oh, don't bother with social media, do email," and then other people say the other way round. So we both have to go through divorces because we're already married. But hey, that's just another thing. But what would you say to somebody that says, "Oh, you've got a great social media presence. I don't need email." What would you say to them? Keep it
I'd
clean.
say, what if that was shut down in the next hour? Because that's your whole business gone. You're trusting an algorithm with your business if you are not taking people further on in your funnel to something which you have more control and ownership over, which is your email address, your subscriber list.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's quite it's a dangerous space, and it isn't me being really like dramatic. It's happened to people that I know, and the devastation is real for those people. It really
Yeah,
is.
absolutely. And if anyone's got any questions or anything, please come on. I'm just going to say hello to Michal. Michal comes and listens and watches my show all the time. Why is he not coming up on the screen? There he is. Hello, Michal. And I'm going to see you this week at Accountex. So make sure you come over and say hello. And this is the thing, right? When I first started my business, I never thought that I would have an email list, and I couldn't think what. Sorry. Ashley's come on and said, what would Deb say? She'd probably be pretty pleased, actually, Ashley. But the thing is, right, I never thought that I'd have an email list because I couldn't think of anything that my potential clients or people that were following me would want. And this was very early on into my business. And I was in a community when I first started my business with an amazing lady called Jo Dodds, who's all into email. And she said to you need to have an email list. But I struggled and struggled and struggled. And so can you give us an idea of what sort of things we should be talking about in our email? Because your emails are brilliant, because every now and again it's like a great gem on what you're doing in email, and I give away content ideas. But we've got a few accountants here. Let's say hello to Juliet. What could Juliet be writing about every whatever? And that's another question. But what could Juliet be writing about? She's an accountant.
Yeah, it's such a common problem, that kind of page mind blank as to, well, I've got nothing that I'd say in these emails. But firstly, you're on LinkedIn or you're on socials and you're posting on there. The things that you're posting on LinkedIn or whichever social platform you're using can be turned into email content. Anything of value that you have can become the content for an email. I think where I come in, it's, emails really don't have to be these serious, boring spaces where it's just sell, 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 sell. That's so far removed from what it really is. It's a more intimate conversation because you're in somebody else's inbox. They've invited you in there. I always use the analogy of that party. You've offered them something. You've got their email list, email address, sorry. You've been invited in. It's your opportunity to converse with them, chat with them, ask questions. They're a great space for market research, an opportunity to give as much value as you can. Now, value, I don't mean having a ton load of free resources. You can, of course, but value can be in a story that they empathize with, you're empathizing with them. It can make, value is in being seen and being heard. So, you mentioned Juliet as an accountant there. Anything that's pressing, be it a challenge, a blocker that she's noticed, a frequently asked question that your ideal clients are asking you, they can all become your email content. It doesn't have to be something really highfalutin and serious in there. It is a relationship builder.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like, oh, what could I do? What could I do? And so one day I was having a shout out. Oh, I know what I can do, and I came up with this thing, ideas for content, and it's now 5 ideas for content. So basically, every single Friday they get a 5-minute Friday with me, and it's just 5 ideas for content. And this
Yeah.
could be the same for Mihal's an accountant, Ashling's a photographer, and Juliet's also an accountant. But yeah, it's those sorts of things, and it can be dead easy, can't it?
It really can. So if you're really struggling for content, having a little hook like you've got there, your 5 content ideas. First of all, it gives you a structure. Second of all, you know exactly what you're doing and when, because you've set your day that you're going to send it. By setting the day and setting the structure of the content, you're going to make sure you get it done because you've promised them that it's going to be done on a Friday or whenever it is. So that's the first real, they're kind of the baby steps, if you like, if people really are finding it difficult to know what to send. And the type of emails we're talking about now, they're the kind of traditional, put it in inverted commas, the newsletter style, because I hate the word newsletter because it implies that we're just giving a load of news to people, which we're not, which is not the space within the inbox. But the regular email communication, if you think of it as what am I going to regularly communicate backward and forward with my ideal audience? What can I help them with at least once a week?
Yeah, no, so you reckon we should be doing an email every week, not once a month?
At least once a week. And I know we've had conversations about this before, haven't we? But if you imagine if you're sending an email once a month, think of how full our inboxes get. I mean, you'll be very lucky if your ideal audience even sees that email once a month. If they do see it once,
That
then they might
that
not see it
is
again.
that is the bomb drop, the mic drop moment today. I hadn't ever thought of it like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're spending a whole month creating a newsletter and you send it once a month, what's the chances of them seeing it? You've got 12 chances a year. And if you send 2 a week, which is what I do now, and we'll come to that in a second, they've got 104 chances of seeing my email. Is that's priceless.
Mm.
That is the thing. That is the thing to take from this show. We can go home now, Louise. Brilliant. Well done. Thank you very
Done.
much indeed.
Mic drop.
We'll be back next week. But this is the thing. This is the thing, right? I love that because I get I tick the box that said subscribe, and I get a million emails every single day, and some of them are from the same people, and they're sending me 3 or 4 emails every day. It seems. But I don't want to be that guy. And I know Juliet, she doesn't want to be that girl. So what can you say to me and Juliet?
Yeah, I mean, I know we've had a conversation and I speak to a lot of potential clients around this. It's all to do with our mindset. A lot of us come to our email marketing with our own kind of, I hate sales. I hate my inbox being full of these emails. Did I even sign up for that one? Who are these people? That kind of baggage with us. But we really have to try and remove that baggage and think, actually, what is it that I want to get out of sending emails? What is it I want the people receiving those emails to get out of it? So there's 2 goals we really need to consider. And then we think about, okay, well, the how. We've just talked about the frequency. Well, 12 times a year isn't going to do anything for anybody. Let's think about frequency. It feels internally like a lot if you're sending one, or I suggest to send 2, or heaven forbid, 3 or 4 emails a week. But those people have signed up to your email address because they've spotted something that you've got that can help them. And that's really important. And we often lose sight of that. We've not forced someone to join our email list, they voluntarily joined it because we can help them. If we're not turning up, in their inbox on a regular basis, we're doing them a massive disservice, because no one's going to open every single email that you send, number one. If you've got gems that you're putting in your emails, you need to repeat those gems in different ways through different techniques over a period of time. And frequency really, really is key, especially immediately after someone's signed up. That's the kind of prime time to build that relationship and ensure that you're going to keep them opening your emails from there on.
Yeah, no, interesting. So I paid you to do something, like it was a power hour or something. Explain what
Yeah.
we did and how you helped me, and then I'll tell you what the
Yes.
result was, because that's the other thing. Is like I haven't got time to join your workshop and but you grabbed hold of me and you shook me, you turned me upside down and shook me. But you gave me some really good ideas and I've put those into action. So go on. What service did I buy from you? Remind us.
Yes, that was a simplify and strategize session, which is about 45 minutes long. And we get one to one and we start with all the things really that I've just said. We get really, really clear on why the bloody hell are you doing emails in the first place? What do you want them to do for you? What do you want them to do for your client? What have you got to offer? And how, what's going to work for you as a business owner with your emails? So we pin down the foundations of your email marketing so that you really are invested in your why, because a lot of us forget about our why we're doing it. We just see it as a tick list. Once you're invested in your why, you are way more likely to go ahead and do it. And you are really committed to doing it because you know what your endpoint is, because we've just gone through the endpoint. So we have a conversation and we get it done. We get it done in those
We did.
45
We
minutes.
did. We did.
And there were real like light bulb moments, weren't there? It was brilliant.
No, it was brilliant. And so my journey with email has just been, and I think it's the same with everybody. Like, there's nobody on my list, so why do I bother creating an email? And that's the thing, isn't it? But the list builds, but it builds over time, and as long as you're giving away value, people, and I've when I first spoke to you, I was putting out an email on a Sunday, because I used to do it on a Monday, then I moved to a Sunday because I didn't want to post on a Sunday. So I put that to my LinkedIn newsletter. So that's the other benefits. If you've got a newsletter, you can, put it on LinkedIn as well, but that's another show.
Yeah.
And then someone said to me, why are you sending the same email to both people? It doesn't seem fair and stuff like that. So anyway, we got together and had a chat. I'm now doing 2 emails a week, Louise.
Mhm.
One on a Friday. So it literally is on a Friday, it's 5 ideas. There you go. And then on a Monday, I've gone back to my Monday nudge. And basically on a Monday, it's a very, very short email, maybe even a 2 or 3 minute read. This is just kick up the bum to spark off the week. And when I hit that button, I thought, oh, I'm going to get a million unsubscribes and nobody's gonna, open it, and goodness knows what. I've literally just opened it now and had a look. So this went out on the 5th of May. So this was bank holiday week, bank holiday Monday. It went out. I got a 43% open rate, Louise.
Yes.
11,
Yes.
1,120 people that I thought I would annoy, wind up, and other words like that. And people are opening it,
Mhm.
Louise. And and
Yeah.
and
Because
here's
you're there, you're visible.
and this is the golden thing. This is the golden thing. I was at an event a few weeks ago, and this woman came up to me. She said, "I just got to say thank you very much for your news, for your emails. I love getting your 5 ideas, and what I do is I put them all into a spreadsheet. Isn't that incredible?
Oh, that's
Isn't
so
that
good.
incredible?
See
So
the value you're giving.
but you don't know that. She's never replied to me.
Mhm.
Every now and again I get a reply on an email. Oh, thanks for this, Ash. That's a great idea. Or what about this, and stuff like that. But to know that people are using them and stuff like that, I think that's so it is worth doing. But this is 4 years down the line. This is
Yeah.
4 years down the line, and and,
Yeah.
and and I think people don't see that. Juliet's got a great question here. What is
Mhm.
the best way to build a list just organically, or do we use social media? Great question, Juliet.
Yeah, it's a mix of everything really. There isn't just one way to build your list, and definitely I would say get a lead magnet in place, so a freebie. inverted commas freebie, because it's not free, they're exchanging the currency of their email address for it, but you're getting a freebie there in place that's of great value to your ideal audience. Get that on social media, promote it like it's a product that you're selling wherever you are, speak about it, talk about it, share it. When you're at networking events, have the QR code for it, ask people, if it can help people, get them to sign up. It is a product that you're selling to other people via, because you're getting an email address in return, which is really high value. So yeah, it is something that you talk about. It's part of your big marketing picture, really. Social media, you're getting the attention when the algorithm is working right, and with Ashley's support, you're going to get in the right places, obviously. Brother and sister team, and then promote it through your socials. And then we're aiming to take them off the social media platform, so they get you in two places. So yeah, great question, really great
Yeah,
question.
and so when I first started all of this malarkey, right, I read lead magnet, right, but I read it as a lead magnet, like thinking it was a different type of magnet for magnetizing different types of metal. So there must be someone else out there that also read it as a lead magnet. So tell us, what could we use as a lead magnet? And so let's pick on Juliet. What could she use as a lead magnet? How would that look?
Yeah, so I've got some resources actually which would be really useful for Juliet about lead magnets. But your lead magnet, really, at its core, needs to be something that's of high value to your ideal audience. So Juliet was the accountant, is that right?
Yeah,
Is Juliet
that's right. Yeah,
accountant? Yeah.
yeah.
So start with possibly any frequently asked questions that you're getting. What things are your ideal audience really struggling with that you can help them with? Perhaps a checklist. It could be, if your forte is masterclasses, it could be a PDF guide, a document, a flow chart, anything that your ideal audience is going to be able to use immediately, and that's really important. Go for
I've just got an
it.
idea for Juliet. Okay, so many people set up in business and they speak to Dave down the pub, and Dave says, "Oh, you need to set up as a limited company." And then someone else in the pub says, "No, no, no, you need to be a sole trader." So what Juliet could do is have a white paper or something on the benefits of limited company over sole trader and vice versa. She could do that. And so if you want to know, you just download that. It's a little easy read and it will inform you. Is that a good idea?
Yeah, anything like that. But what I would say is, and this is what I talk about in my programs, is for the lead magnet, you're going to put a lot of effort into it. So that the word itself, lead, keep that in mind. So that lead magnet has to lead them somewhere to a service offering package that you can actually sell to them, because that ultimately that's what you're wanting to do, is to help these people and have business from it. So picking an idea for a lead magnet is one thing, but making sure it's strategically placed so that it's going to lead them to working with you in the future is another. So yeah, first I always say, get all your possible ideas down, that things people are going to need your help with, or that you hear often that their blockers and pain points are. Get them all down on paper, and then just start to circle the ones that stand out the most to you, that you think, oh, actually, if I give them that, that's a little bit of information which is going to help them. So that's a step towards what I can really help them with, which is over here. So it's a little step closer to getting them towards their goal.
Perfect, perfect. We've got a few people coming in the chat now, so thank you. Jody says, "Hope you're well. Sorry, I missed the beginning." Jody, it's recorded. You can go back and watch the beginning. And if you've got any questions, drop them in here. Galvin's got a great question. Before we do that, I'm just going to say hi to Sarah. She's saying hi. Hi, Sarah. How are
Hi,
you?
Sarah.
And so Galvin is turning around. Do you recommend a I can't say it, MailChimp type platform or something else? I think we all know what MailChimp is, but something else, something like that, or do we use something totally different? What would you suggest?
Yeah, it's the email marketing platform. The one that I tend to recommend, especially if people are starting out, is MailerLite, because MailerLite offers a lot of flexibility within their free plan. I'm not associated with them or anything. That's the one that I use and I recommend to people in my program. The biggest thing that it offers for free is you can do automations, and automations are your best friends in email. So we talked about the lead magnet. You can then automate a flow and a sequence of emails that are going to grow that relationship, build that rapport on auto in the background. You've done it once, it's doing the work for you. So I love automations, as you can tell. So that, and when we're starting off, that's the simplest place to start, because you set it up and you get it going, and then you've got it going, you've got those people coming in on auto. So the one that I would recommend is MailerLite to start with. I know there are other great ones. Kit is also a really good one, but I think their paid one, I think you might need to pay for the automations on that. I'm not
But
100% sure.
there's a million out there. There are so many, and
Mm,
and again,
yeah,
because you've got so much choice that you just don't do anything.
yeah.
And so yeah, thank you for giving MailerLite a shout out. I started off with Mailchimp because I was using it
Mm.
elsewhere for my music. So I just thought I can't be bothered to learn another one. But yeah, there's a load out there. So yeah, good question, Kelvin. So we've got the idea, we've got the lead magnet, we've now got a platform. We're doing it once or twice a week. Are we done? Or what else have we missed, Louise?
No, there's so much more. But remember, my thing is about keeping it simple. So for simplicity terms, when getting started, get yourself a lead magnet so you can get people joining a list who actually are interested in you, what you've got to offer, and you can actually help them. Get an automation sequence in place that's going to build that relationship, give extra value, and take them on a journey towards an opportunity to work together. Have your regular emailing set out, whether that's once a week, twice a week, whatever. But then the next step after that is thinking about your sales sequences. So not the big, here, buy this right away, right now. But we've got launches, we've got offers, we've got promotions that we want to inform them about, because remember, they are interested in what you've got to offer. And it's our job to showcase that to our audience, doing it in a way that's actually really empathy led. So, as in, not I have got this for you, but I see you struggling. I can see that you're sat at your laptop about to throw it out the window because your automations aren't playing ball and you need support. It's using storytelling, using your understanding of your core audience to help them see that you are the choice for them to get them to where they want to be. So a sales sequence would be the next step, really.
And that would be automated as well. That's
Yeah, it would be.
then we
Yeah.
start that's when we start doing funnels. Is that right? Is it?
Yeah, and you know what? I do tend to stay away from all the different terminology because people have different understanding of it. It freaks some people out, and it doesn't really mean anything really for anybody at the end of the day. It's you send an email, a number of emails in a sequence to the right people at the right time. That's the crux of it. You can add them onto the end of a nurture sequence so that everybody gets those, or you can set them to send as campaigns at set times of the year. So I'm thinking, if in the accountancy world, as it comes up to kind of the self-assessments and tax returns, there's going to be certain times in the year when you might set a time scheduled series of emails to your audience that are going to be of high value to them, because there's a key date coming up and people are feeling a certain way and you've got something that can help them. That's as an example.
No, fantastic. I thought of something when you were chatting then about a landing page for the lead magnet. Now, when I started off with Mailchimp, it gave me a what's called a landing page, so you can explain what that is. But basically, I didn't need a website or anything like that. And so what would happen is I gave somebody this email address, this URL, which I turned into a QR code. And so when they came to my open mics, that's how I was using it. So I wanted to remind people that the open mic was next week and stuff like that. So when they came, they scanned this QR code. It went to a nice little page that said about the music. They put in their email address, and so that was the landing page. So could you just explain? And can you get that? Does that work with MailerLite as well? So yeah.
Yeah, so MailerLite has its own landing pages within their sites, it's called within that. And you can keep it really simple. You can literally just put your sign up form in there, a little bit of blurb about what they're going to get, and get their name and email and then sign up. Or you can make it longer to look like a traditional, if you like, web page where you're giving information. You can put images on, but it's all within the MailerLite site. And it is the same for all the other email marketing platforms as well. So you don't need your own website to be able to do this. If you have got your own website, you can then integrate forms into your website where people can sign up from there, or you can simply copy and paste the link and have it as a button and they can link from your website as well. So if I was sharing a link on LinkedIn, for example, to my sign up, I just go into MailerLite, copy my sign up form, the landing page link URL, and paste it into LinkedIn, and then people can click that and head straight
Perfect.
there.
Perfect. Love that. Love that. Right. We've got more questions. Mihal's saying, I want to schedule a post on Monday. Can I write content over the weekend?
Yeah, you can write it whenever you want. That's the beauty. So, yeah, you can. Some people love to batch create the content, so you can write it all out, pop it in MailerLite, and schedule each one individually for set dates and set times. And yeah, you do it whenever you want. The automations, obviously, because they're automatically going to go on a trigger, and that trigger is when someone puts their name and email address into a form. So that's all that that means. So that will just be doing that automatically. But yeah, write it whenever you want, schedule it to go in a year's time if you want to.
Wow, that's super organized. Great question, Michal. And if you're talking about LinkedIn, yes, you can schedule posts on LinkedIn as well, all natively. And Ashling's come up with, how often would you be putting out sales info in your emails? As I alluded earlier, I get emails from people and they're like, buy this, this is coming up now. And I had one last week or the week after. Got this new event, and this is we've got early bird tickets. So every day I got an email. And then as soon as that one was closed, there was another event that they were organizing. And then we had early bird tickets for that. And I'm like, oh, I'm fed up with all these emails. So
Mm.
great question, Aisling. How often should we be putting sales information in our emails, Louise?
Really good question, because the example you just gave there, Ashley, that's, I suspect those emails were all very much, here's what we've got coming up, buy this, we've got that. And that's where it becomes really annoying, because they've not given any value to you. They're just wanting you to join. So this is the difference. So first of all, we unpick the word sales. So by sales info, I always term that as an opportunity. So if you're providing them with an opportunity to see how you can help them. Now, in the most emails that I send, I put a sales, an opportunity in there to work together. It might be as a PS. PS, have you seen I've got a Simplify and Strategize call? Click here for more information. It could be, PS, keep your eyes peeled. I've got a brand new promo coming up in X days' time. Or it could be a reminder. Here's 3 ways you can work with me, blah, blah, blah. And it could be within the storytelling. It could be my main purpose of the email. Mostly, I add it as an aside unless I've got a particular time of year that I'm promoting something.
Yeah, perfect. I hope that answers your question, Aisling. And Juliet's gonna knock me down when I see her tomorrow. Software consultant. So yeah, and it's all those sorts of things that you could be talking about. And one of the things that Juliet could be telling us about is how she got into that from being an accountant. Because we want to know these sorts of things, don't we?
Yeah. Absolutely. And people often think you have to have something quite dramatic happen, or something that's out of the ordinary to write about in your emails, but actually they are things that are harder to relate to for the normal person that's reading your emails. I always say, if emotions sell and feelings create relationships. So just as a little activity, as an aside, write down happy, sad, annoyed, frustrated, and just jot down your day-to-day things that are making you feel that way. Because 9 times out of 10, if you write about those in your emails and link the story on, the people reading it are going to be able to empathize. That throwing your laptop out of the window. I know Sarah, we had a conversation. She was having a nightmare with something. She's like, I just wanted to scream and throw the laptop out the window. We've all been there in that situation. I was there last night. It just wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. Those normal situations will help build that rapport and relationship.
Fantastic. You've been incredible. That's our half an hour over already. Jayanne saying this has been great, and she is absolutely spot on the money there. Right, how do we get to work with Louise McGuill, please?
Yes, of course, join my email list in the comments after this.
And if
I
you're
will
listening on
put,
the
I've got some,
podcast, if you're listening on a podcast, there will be some show notes at the bottom, so you can go and connect
oh,
and
fab,
see that
fab.
there. So yeah, how else can we catch up with you?
Yeah, so I've actually got a masterclass coming up. So I'd love for you guys to attend. I think it'd be really useful. It's 6 steps to build, grow, and fill your email list. That'll be live with me. And I'm also going to be launching a brand new offering for me, and it'll be the very first opportunity to work with me on a 4-week sprint. That's going to be a way where basically, if you're an action taker or you need that kick up the bum, you just want to get emails off that list because they've been going to the bottom for too long, this is going to be your opportunity. So click on the link to join my masterclass, and that'll take you into my VIPs. I call them my subscribers, and you will get to hear all about that first. But yeah, pop me a message on LinkedIn. Throw me any questions. As you know, Ashley, you'll know I'm very open. I'm more than happy to help. I love helping people
No,
get where they want to
you
be.
are. So much so, we've got an exclusive, haven't we, Louise? You are coming
Oh,
in.
fun.
You are coming in and having a chat with my own community. We're going to get you for an hour on Wednesday, the 28th of May at midday. So Juliet can join us and we can just
Hey,
listen to what you got to say. And then there'll be plenty of time for Q&A as well. So Louise, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for coming in. So many lovely comments as well. Paul is saying thank you so much. So many golden nuggets and great conversation. So this is going to be part of the gratitude post on Friday. So you'll be able to hear all about Louise again. So if anyone is watching and you're going to Accountex, I will be on stand 396. Come and say hello. Grab a copy of my book. And I'm also doing a brand new talk on the impact stage at 10 o'clock on the very first day. So that's Wednesday this week. I am so excited. Louise, you've been a superstar. We haven't got a show next week
thank you.
because it's a bank holiday, but we will be back very, very soon. Louise, thank you. And thank you to
Brilliant.
everybody
Thank
else.
you, Ashley.
Oh, no, it's been an absolute super show. You've been brilliant. So thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching or listening to my show this week. I want to bring to you people that can help us running our business. I love having a chat. I'm very nosy, very curious, and I'd love to ask questions. So if you want to be a guest or if you've got some ideas for guests, let me know. And if you want me to help you with your LinkedIn, get in touch because I want to give you a voice. Now, that could just be using LinkedIn, but I do other things as well. So I can help you with a podcast, a live show, and all kinds of other amazing things. So get in touch. My name is Ashley Leeds. I'm the 15-minute guy, and you can find me on LinkedIn.